Alright, got the stream up. Got some music going.
Give me a heads up when you're gonna. Are we doing SRS for the stream?
Nah, we'll just do this.
Does the F-18 have tasking yet, or do I need to do what I was doing last time and like grab shit just in case something goes
Nah,
wrong?
you're gonna need to do what you did last time. I haven't put in tasking. I think what I'm gonna do is maybe give the F-18s a target, like a strike target that's kind of in between the coast and where we're fighting or where we're trying to get the asset. And if they don't hit it, more bad guys show up or spawn. And if they do hit it, they don't.
Okay.
That way you can go and do a strike on that and then continue and help out in the area, you know, if we need it.
Yep. No, I was just asking because I want to. It's a long way to go to rearm.
Yeah, for sure. I understand that. I'm trying to think of something for the F-18s to do. Obviously, the F-14s can just do, when I put those guys in, they can just do air-to-air.
And they can even bomb if they get done.
Yeah, absolutely. Alright guys, we're going to get the stream started in just a second. We're just finishing up some testing and practice over here. Go ahead and get our flaps down. And get our gear down.
Yeah, I didn't break landing gear that time.
Nice.
So you're going to reload the map on the mission?
What was that?
Are you going to reload the map on the mission?
Yeah, as soon as we get to 6:30, I'll reload.
Well, I'll quickly make a phone call before then. Just leave my vegan parked here. That's interesting. I didn't arm my ejection seat, but it still blew the canopy off.
Nice.
Alright,
Coming in a little high. Coming in a lot high. Alright, everybody, we're going to get started here in just a sec. We're just finishing up a little training run here. And then we will get our asset extraction loaded and go and test. Hope y'all are having a good evening. It's a nice rainy Friday here in Northern California. It looks a lot nicer here in the Caucasus region of Georgia. Yep. Exiting the runway and then starting the mission. Alright, let's get this new map changed. Alright, map is loading. And just let me know once you guys get into the mission.
It loaded me right in.
Awesome. Hey, Bailey, what's up, man? We're just doing a test here of a mission that I put together a while ago called Asset Extraction. I'm trying to update it for the new version of DCS and the new map. New Caucasus map with all the new trees and everything. Doing good myself. Doing good myself. Alright, so Joff's loaded in. Did Straya say he was stepping away for a sec?
Yes.
Alright, we'll wait for him to get back, and then we'll unpause and get started.
I am back.
Cool. Let's go ahead and unpause and... Bailey, right now I'm flying in the A-18C, the new version of it. It's a lot of fun. I recommend it if you've flown the previous A-10. It's quite nice. We'll go ahead and get ourselves started up here. Put those on. We'll kick our APU on. Not that. This button down here. I am flying in VR today, which hopefully I don't make you guys too nauseous. We're waiting for our APU to turn on. This will basically allow our engines to spool. So APU's up. Got a couple of hinds coming in. APU's on. Let's turn on our generator. And we'll kick on our left engine. Look back, make sure it starts to spin. It is. And we'll double check it with the gauges. They are starting. Awesome. Get some of our avionics on here. We're going to wait for this to get to 60%. And now that this engine's on, it's powering the plane. We don't need our APU generator on. So we can turn that off. And now we can cycle our right engine. And again, we'll take a look behind us. Make sure that that bad boy starts kicking.
I am holding position beneath the bridge to the east of Koban. Once I have visual on the rescue helicopters, I will pop green flares and green smoke to mark my position, then move to the extraction point. Rabbit Bear out.
Again, all of the voice acting was done by myself. I did put this mission together, I don't know, probably 6 or 7 years ago. It was a lot of fun. Alright, both engines are on and spooled. We're loading. Got our CDU on. Turn our stability control on over on this side. Nice, Bailey. Yeah, it is a little bit annoying. Go ahead and close our canopy. Make it a little bit less noisy in here. There we go. Yeah, the frogfoot is slightly annoying for sure. I'm curious, have you seen my tutorial series for it on YouTube? I put together a pretty in-depth tutorial series. You can find it just by looking for my name, and SU25T should pop up. But it's a very good plane. It's definitely a tried and true model. Works really well, even though it is slightly annoying. So the point of this mission, if you guys heard that intro, we have an asset out in a valley over by Caucasus is the name of the city, and I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. Let me get this RWR turned down as well. And he's been compromised, and we are going to pick him up. So I've got my friend Etienne over there in an F-16. He's going to be doing some seed. We've got another friend somewhere off over the mountains in the Gulf on a carrier flying an F-A-18. Me and the A-10C, and we're going to go see if we can make sure that our rescue helicopters can pull him out of that valley. So thanks for joining us on this ride. Just going ahead and finishing the setup. We're waiting for our, basically our GPS alignment. It's an INS. It's an inertial navigation system. It basically pinpoints where I am now, and then based on how the plane moves through space, it knows where you're moving to. It's like a really simplified version of it. Pull our map up and get our taxi light on, and we can see Etienne over there. Joff is taxiing. Let me make sure there's nothing else I need in here. I guess I can turn on my helmet-mounted queuing system, which is actually really cool. You get that nice little head-up display. It doesn't matter where you're looking. Now the cool thing in VR is that only overlays over one eye. It's on my right eye by default, but you can switch it to the left eye in the settings if you want. And it's as simple as just toggling that button. So, like right here on the ground, I don't really need it. So I'll just leave it off. One less distraction. So this bad boy, this T right here, we wanted to say 4.0.0 or 4.0.0.8, and then we are aligned and we can start moving. And it shouldn't take too much longer. How's everybody else doing? What do you guys got planned for Thanksgiving? That's coming up. If you guys are in the U.S., I'll be doing a cook-along live. I'm sure you guys have seen on my channel that's something that I've started doing since the pandemic started. I'll basically be cooking a full Thanksgiving dinner, so it'll probably be a pretty long live stream. And let me know how the audio levels are. I'm using a new kind of audio system, I guess routing system. So you should be able to hear myself. You should be able to hear the other people chatting a little bit lower than me. The game sound shouldn't be too loud or too overpowering. Let me know how that all sounds. I'm going to have to go and review it later, but for now, I'll just trust what you guys say. Alright, we're getting close to that 4.00.8, and then we can start taxiing. There we go, all done. We'll switch to our navigation mode. We'll kick on our EAC, and we'll switch to EGI, and we are ready to go. Cool, cool. Nose wheel steering on. Hog flight taxiing. And we got Joff over there on the runway, about to take off. He's going to go do his seed mission, which is suppression of enemy air defense. Basically, he's going to be taking out some SAMs spawn in. So when I built this mission originally, I put it together because I wanted essentially to get my friend group to come in and fly planes with me. And so what I did was I made it totally dynamic. Depending on which planes and how many of them are in the map, a different group of enemies spawn. So it makes the mission a lot of fun. And it's, depending on who you have in. At the time, it had all of the modules in it except for, I think, the MI8 was the last time, was the newest module that had come out. Or it might have been the Saber, I'm not 100% sure. One of those two. And that was right around the time that DCS was switching from 1.2 to the new version, 2.0. And kind of didn't really forget about the mission, but didn't update it for the new engine.
Alright,
so
Hornet launching.
And now I'm just going through and fixing it back up. Because it was a really fun mission. Now, one thing that they did was they added a bunch of trees to this map. The default Caucasus map, the free map that comes with DCS. And a lot of the units were actually inside forests, and so we couldn't engage them because the trees are collidable. Which is pretty funny. Alright, here we are. Hog flight, runway 06, taking off immediate departure to the east. And we'll go ahead and roll up, and get our landing light on. Landing takeoff light. And rolling. So I'm also incorporating some of the newer modules like the A-18C, which is what I'm in here. The A-10C, the F-16 Block 50. Rolling 140 knots. We can pull back, rotate. Positive rate, gear up. And 2,000 feet. We'll start a turn towards our objective. Make sure we have the right waypoint selected. There we go. And we're going to generally head in this direction. Go ahead and put our path autopilot on. And we'll just maintain this. Switch to our waypoint menu in case we get any targeting information that we might need to enter in there. Looks like everyone else is up. Awesome. Cool, Joff. Good to hear that your loadouts worked. So one trick with DCS is you can actually go and in the mission editor, if you have a particular loadout that you like to use over and over again, you can just place a unit, select the unit, make sure it's the right unit, and then go into the loadout screen on the unit, enter a custom loadout, and it'll show up in your menu, so you don't have to go and select it every single time you take off and fly. So I'm flying with the Valve Index tonight. I really like this headset. It's a lot of fun for VR. DCS also works great with the Oculus. Let's see, passing 6,700 feet. And we are en route to our target. So Bailey, you fly the Frogfoot. Anything else that you fly, or just that plane for now, getting used to it? It's a good plane. It is a little bit annoying. You definitely don't get the clickable switches, the fully simulated cockpits and systems, but it is it's a workhorse, man. The Su-25, especially if you load the Vickers, those you get basically 8 missiles on each wing on one pylon, and they're pretty powerful missiles. So it's no slouch. It does take a little bit of getting used to, but it's a fun plane to fly for sure, especially if you want to do seed missions. Let's go ahead and take a look at me. I'm loaded up. Here is Joff. Looks like he's already fired off 2 of his missiles.
Hogflight, this is Papa Bear. Enemy armor reported passing through the city of Bloody Caucasus and heading towards our extraction zone. Do not engage these targets within or near city limits, as civilian casualties are unacceptable. Repeat, weapons release has not been authorized at this time. We recommend
I think
you divert and
the
hold
seed,
over the extraction zone
sorry,
until you are
the
cleared in hot.
SAMs should be
You are,
down.
however, cleared to engage enemy
They're
targets
still alive,
in and around
but
the extraction
disabled.
zone. Prioritize enemy AAA that may be located
Nice.
at the north and east entrances
Last
to the valley
one should be
and
dead
clear the
soon.
way for our rescue helicopters. Enemy armor column is currently approaching the bridge located at coordinates 43 degrees, 3 minutes, 33 seconds north, 44 degrees, 39 minutes, 38 seconds east. Command out.
Alright, so I basically just put in a new steer point called tanks, or new waypoint called tanks, and put in the coordinates that he gave me so that I know where the tanks should be. And now I can turn on my targeting pod, get my laser on as well, and we'll switch over to our Mavericks since it looks like we're going to be in a fight. We'll turn those guys on because they need a little bit of time to warm up. We are getting to 13,000 feet, 13,000 feet. So we will level off here. And we will put on our heading and altitude autopilot. That way we don't have to monitor where we're going, as well as trying to do all of this stuff. So we'll switch to our targeting pod over here on the right. Display, we'll let that warm up. We've got our Mavericks over here. I'm actually going to switch into my weapons systems and gonna go and customize one of these profiles. So I've got some laser guided bombs, the GBU-12s there. Go down a couple times. We're gonna select these guys. We're gonna view the profile here. We're gonna switch the mode to CCRP, which is a calculated release point instead of a calculated impact point. For the laser guided bombs, you don't really care. Well, you have a bigger range of where to release them, but this way it'll just automatically release them at the optimal point. Go back into the profile. We're going to change our settings. I want this to automatically turn on the laser. I want the minimum release altitude to be 1600. So we'll go ahead and, let's see here, type that in, 1600. And we will do minimum release altitude, and then for our laser time, we're going to type in 15, and we'll put that in there. And that profile looks good, so we'll go ahead and save it. Our TGP is warmed up. We're going to go to air-to-ground mode here. We'll switch it to white hot on black background, which makes hotter targets white. Now we'll switch back to our Maverick screen. That needs 3 minutes, so it's got another minute to go. I'll switch to the TAD, which is our map. Now I'm going to make this my sensor of interest and slew it to the waypoint that I have set. I actually want to switch this to my tanks waypoint. perfect. And I'll switch back over to here. And we'll get that slewed over. So now I'm looking at the bridge that my Overwatch told me the tanks are coming to, and there the tanks are right there. So we got eyes on our targets. We'll zoom in. We can see those guys moving towards the asset. He said, do not engage until they get out of the city. So I am going to pull back on my throttle here just a bit and slow myself down. Now my targeting pod is right there on the other side of that Maverick. You got the 2 green missiles, and then you've got the targeting pod, and it's looking over towards where the targets are. So what I'm going to do is try and keep them off of my right wing so that the targeting pod has a good look at them. So I'm going to disable my autopilot, turn a little bit to the left. And you'll notice the targeting pod is going to stay fixed on the position I have here. I'll actually kind of move it this way and keep an eye on them. I'll pull back. And then I'm going to try and put them kind of perpendicular to me, and let the targeting pod just kind of spy on them until I'm cleared in hot. There we go. We will lock our altitude and heading again. And now that we are getting into a combat situation, we'll turn on our helmet mounted display. You'll notice that it's giving me all kinds of waypoints. It's showing me where my targeting pod is looking and where the sensor point of interest is, which is the mark point that we put in there. So you get a whole lot more detail here in the A-10C2 that was not available to us in the A-10C. We'll switch back out to our wide view, and I'll use this until I'm actually going in to do a run on them. So take a look at our airspeed. Kind of hard to see with that white background. Looks like 199. We'll increase our throttle just a bit. We want to stay above 200. But we do want to go kind of slow. We don't want to go fast enough to put them, you know, behind us or anything like that. And then at this point, I'm just waiting. We got the Beslan airfield down below us. We'll go and rearm there. And I believe in that valley there is where we're going to be going. Yeah, it looks like the asset waypoint is right there. And I believe there are some anti-air defenses right at the entrance to that valley, so we'll have to go and take a peek over there. Let's keep an eye on our tank column. Looks like they're following a road. Let's switch to black, hot on white. Looks like they're going to follow that road around the city and then probably head down that direction. So we'll just kind of keep an eye on them. Joff, are you, what are you targeting right now?
Cleaning up the SAMs and then RTB.
Roger that. Straya, ETA?
I've just hit the top of the mountain, your side of the mountain. Ready to engage anything.
Firm, awesome. Alright, so those buildings are going to occlude our tank column, so I'm going to go ahead and roll this way. You'll notice that now it's actually picking up the fins of the missiles over there, the air-to-air missiles. And probably what I'm going to do here is I'm going to see if I can keep them in view just by heading the other direction. I'll put my camera there. And hopefully we're high enough that our targeting pod's not going to be looking at the missiles or at the bottom of our plane. But if it is, at least we know where it's looking. Yeah, it's going to see the bottom of our plane. So let's do this. Got the tank column. Looks like there's a nice clear bit of road there. Looks like they might be heading to that area there. Alright, so I'm just going to rotate this way again and slow ourselves down just a bit, kind of orbiting over Beslin. And that's where the rescue helicopters are taking off from, but we're at 13,000 feet, so we shouldn't be in their way. There we go. Where's our tanks? Cool. Still on the road. Getting a little slow. And we're looking down there, so I'll put them right off of that wing like that. And we'll do a little bit of attitude hold here. Got some buildings there. We don't want any of our weapons to damage those. I'm just waiting until we're cleared in hot. So they're right over there. There is a way to turn the data link on in this so I can see my friends, but I don't know how to do that, so I am not. If anybody knows, if anybody in chat knows how to do that, go ahead and let me know. Be happy to get that set up. That's kind of cool as well. Go ahead and do a turn this way. Targeting pod will stay fixed on the point that we're looking at. Eventually it'll get occluded by the body of the plane. Right there. We're basically just doing this to stall for time. And looks like they're turning on the crossroads. Also looks like they are out of the city, so I'm going to go ahead and start planning my attack here. I'm going to target that.
This is Papa Bear. Your armor group is turned to the west
Perfect.
and is headed away from Vladikavkaz. You are free to engage these targets. Repeat, you are weapons free. Updated coordinates are 45 degrees, 1 minute, 36 seconds north, 44 degrees, 38 minutes, 29 seconds east. Command out.
Alright, I'm gonna go to work on this valley, try and clear it out.
Roger. I'm about to take out my tanks. Alright, rifle. And rifle. Good effect on the Shilka. And good effect on one of the tanks. Alright. We got 2 more Mavericks over on that side, which we're going to use here on our next run. Looks like they peeled off. They're probably trying to figure out what the hell just happened. So what we'll do is we'll switch up here to our
Rifle.
HUD, change to our other Mavericks, and then we'll switch back to our TGP, targeting pod.
Overwatch, this is Pontiac 1-1. We are airborne and en route to the holding position north of the valley. We'll let you know once we're in position. Pontiac 1-1 out.
Those are our rescue helicopters. They are en route.
Got him.
Nice. Alright, rifle. You'll notice that we're using rifle calls. Those are for our optically guided missiles. If you're firing a HARM, which is a radar guided missile, you would call Magnum. Basically, it's so that anybody flying in the area that's got a missile fire detector, it'll detect when somebody's fired a missile at you. Asset extraction time.
Pizza time.
If you don't call out, somebody might think that they've been fired upon. All right, we got one more Maverick. Just give myself a little bit of space. We'll roll in on target. He is right there. Rifle.
This is
Rifle.
Papa Bear. Spotters have confirmed your armor group has been destroyed. You are clear to assist any friendly forces in the area. Recommend you confirm that there are no AAA threats to the north or east of the extraction zone. Then refuel and rearm at Beslin prior to clearing the rescue group in for extraction.
Alright, I'm
Command
RTB. I've only got anti-radiation left.
Roger. What did you take out, Straya?
2 of the anti-air in the canyon.
Awesome. I'll take out the... believe there is a road outpost there, and then I can take out the watchtowers as well. Alright, so I'm going to go standby on my TGP, and then go back to air-to-ground mode. That'll basically center it here on my HUD. And, let's see, I'm looking over there to see if I can see any flames or smoke columns. But I'm not seeing any at the moment. We'll just turn in on that position and take a look. We'll see what we got. Alright, I don't have any mobile threats anymore, so I can turn my helmet mount display off. But I think I'll leave it on, just in case. We are in a combat area. Don't want to be fiddling with that while I'm in the middle of trying to take something out or keep myself alive. Alright, let's see. We're going to be heading that way. That's the valley where we're going. We're going to see if we can put our targeting pod. You see that diamond in the middle of the screen? That's basically where the targeting pod is looking. I'm just going to point it towards the valley and then start looking around, scrolling it side to side, see if I can pick anything up. Let's go ahead and zoom it out. There we go. Oh, look at that outpost. Alright. Got eyes on
runway 28.
I got eyes on a road outpost and what looks like 2 watchtowers at the valley entrance. I am engaging. Alright, we'll switch to our CCRP here and let's do GBAU 38, which is a GPS guided bomb. And we will target the road outpost first. So we got that vertical line here telling us which direction we need to go essentially to drop this bomb. And then we've got that little 3.6, 3.5 over there on the left. That's our release window. We can release it anywhere from the top of that little C all the way down to the bottom. So we are within our release parameters, so I'm going to go ahead and pickle. Pickle. We got 17, 16, 15 to impact. Ten. 5 seconds to impact. Oh, and we occluded it, of course. I see smoke. So I must have hit it. We'll confirm that. And then I'm going to switch to my guns. I believe there are some AAA down there as well. Hey, Stray, how many AAA did you take out?
Only the 2.
The 2 on the left side of the valley?
The 2 on the... I believe the west side is where the AA is left.
Roger. I think I got eyes on. Guns, guns, guns. Looks like he had a bad day. I see one more right there. And then the 2 watchtowers. So when I was originally designing this map, all of these trees didn't exist. I mean, there were trees out here, but it wasn't this thick, so you could pretty much put a enemy unit wherever you wanted, and it was fine. So the first time we came out after the update, a couple of them were actually over here in these trees, and you couldn't hit them because they were completely...
Overwatch, this is Pontiac 1-1. We have reached our holding position and are waiting for clearance to proceed with the extraction. After all AAA and SAM positions have been dealt with, contact us and let us know it's safe to continue. Pontiac 1-1 out.
Alright, those are our rescue helicopters. I believe those are them right there. And they are holding for us to let them know that it's safe to go in. There are a couple watchtowers and one more AAA truck down there, which we will deal with. Rolling in on target.
Island Hornet taxiing to runway 28 for departure to the west.
Guns, guns, guns. And he looks like he's had a bad day as well. Alright, so the asset looks like he's down in here somewhere. We'll provide some cover to our helicopters once we clear them in. And it looks like there's some SAMs over in that city. But if the asset is in the valley, they should be no factor. So I'll focus on the ones that I can see. Oh, there's some SAMs on that side too. At least there's something over there. I should go and investigate once I'm done with these watchtowers. Hogflight rolling in on the watchtowers. So our asset Rapid Bear is somewhere in here. And here we go. Rolling in. Watchtower. Guns, guns, guns. And the other one. Guns, guns, guns. I got one of them, the other one still there. You guys, we have a couple of AAA emplacements to the east. Is anybody available to engage?
I'm just getting off the ground now, and I can go deal with them.
In the village of Koban or near the river?
On the riverside. There are something there. It looks like there's something in the village of Koban, but I'm not sure what it is. Maybe no factor. But feel free to check it out. Alright, both watchtowers are down. Hogflight, RTB. We'll head back to Beslin, we'll land, we'll rearm, and we'll come back out. Just in case anything decides to show up a little later. And then there's our valley. Ha! Absolutely do the Burt. I love the Burt. Alright, we'll go ahead and turn our TGP off, and we'll safe up. And laser safe as well. And I believe we are good for now. Switch back to our TAD and our CDU. And head towards Beslin, which is that airfield over there. We'll go ahead and land real quick. The A-10 has a pretty quick turnaround time. For refuel and rearm. And then we will head back out. Let's see how far away we are from Beslin. We are 8.3 miles. Beslin traffic, hog flight, 8 miles. Inbound for landing. Go ahead and reduce our power and lose some altitude here. We need to slow down anyway, so reducing your power is the best way.
I think you just jettison your Mavericks.
Wrecked.
Yeah, it's not working. It's still bugged. I can't rearm them. No point in carrying the weight around.
That's annoying. Beslin traffic, hog flight, 4.5 miles to the southwest. Turning final, runway 10, Beslin. And we are within flaps range, so we'll get our flaps down. Get our gear down as well since we're turning final. And we'll just line ourselves up here with our runway. Don't think I need any air brakes right now, but we'll see once I get closer. I am getting a little high, so we'll deploy some air brakes, slow ourselves down because we got a descent still. Check our gear, 3 down, 3 indicating, flaps are down. And now we're just lining up with the runway. Alright, we can put our speed brakes in until we touch down. So you'll notice that little virtual plane that's kind of floating around in the middle of my HUD. It's called the total velocity vector, and it's basically showing you where the plane will end up if you continue to fly the the speed and everything that you are. So you basically want to put that where you want to land, and then that's where the plane will go. A little right of center line, that's okay.
Alright, east side of the helicopters is now clear of AA.
Roger that. Hogflight is landed. We're rearming. You guys can call in the helicopters if you want.
I might rearm. I'm gonna RTB. I'm pretty low, so we might hold off until one of us is up in the air, I guess.
Roger. Jeff, how you doing?
I'll clear out the rest of the AA. Wait for you guys.
Affirm.
Nice for you.
Yo.
Hogflight clear of runway 10. Alright, so I am going to taxi to the other side of the taxiway. We're going to take off the same way we landed, runway 10. We will rearm. Ooh, that's a nice biplane. Still waiting for the day that DCS Cessna comes out. I think that would be a lot of fun. Alright, so we got gear down, everything's good. Put our flaps back up for takeoff once we get over there. Here's our taxiway for the runway, so we will just slow down. A bit. Got our canopy open. And then we'll request a rearm here in a second. I think I'm just going to do Mavericks. Mavericks and gun. Alright. So all I want is, I actually don't want these guys anymore. Remove payload, remove payload. I'll take the laser guided bombs just in case. And the rockets. Nice. Full fuel, full gun, ammo, combat mix. We are good. We will let this guy go.
Request refueling. Request rearming. Copy.
And we'll let them refuel and rearm us. This is kind of the boring sit and wait part. So how many of y'all who are watching are DCS people? How many of you guys are just watching? You guys fly the A-10? What's your plane of choice? Let me know. I'm thinking about starting a tutorial Tuesday, where I release a tutorial video for each module, kind of going forward. Starting with redoing the Su-25T series, which is now 8.5 years old, I believe. Started that a while ago. Redoing that in the new engine with the new model inside the Su-25 with a little bit more knowledge now that I actually have a private pilot license or certificate. Give you guys a little bit of corrected information. And then moving on to things like the P-51, the A-10C, and just doing that weekly on Tuesdays. Might be fun, along with these Friday live streams, Friday night flights. It won't always be asset extraction. This is just the mission that we're playing on tonight, testing it out, seeing how it runs.
Hornet on final runway 28 Beslin.
And then we got Stray coming in over there. And they're rearming us right now, so this shouldn't be too much longer. Alright, we got Mavericks over there now. Mavericks on that side now. And then once Stray lands, we can take the runway and take off. And then, of course, my Cook Along Live series on Sundays. There we go. Good to go. I'll leave this taxiway clear so he can come through, and then we will take the runway and depart. Kevin, I actually don't have the A4. I should go grab it because I know it's free. And then yes, absolutely, I can put that together. All right, so now that we've rearmed, we actually have to reset the computer. The data computer doesn't know what we have loaded and what we don't have loaded, so we're going to go ahead and switch over to our load screen and click Load All. That will load the profiles for the weapons that we have. You could also just click Load DSMS, but we're on the ground, so it doesn't hurt to do a Load All. Just make sure everything's reset. Focke-Wulf 190, yep, absolutely. MiG-15, a lot of fun. It's very similar to the Sabre, if I'm not mistaken. Stray, are you just rearming over there?
Yeah, I'm just trying to keep out of your way.
All right, cool. I'm gonna take the runway and taxi your direction so I can take off. Got our taxi light on, and
All right,
we'll start rolling.
I'll sit off to the side as much as I can.
Victor, the Frogfoot is actually a super versatile plane, and I have a tutorial series for it out. It's pretty popular on YouTube. If you want to go take a look at it, check it out. You can just look up my name and SU-25T, and I believe you'll find it. Go ahead and close our canopy as we get near the runway. Hog flight taking runway 10, back taxi for immediate departure. Final is clear, final is clear. So if you want some tips, or I don't know if you've seen the tutorial series or not, but might help you out if you're having trouble with the Frogfoot. I actually really love the Frogfoot. It just takes a little bit of getting used to. Oh, nice. Awesome, man. And I love the World War II planes. Actually, Joff on the stream with me flies the P-51 a lot. And in this mission, I have some tasking for P-51. It's not super interesting. They're just convoys that you can attack. And then actually there's an escape plane that tries to make it out, and you have to go and hunt it down. So that's kind of the P-51 tasking in this mission. It's a lot of fun. But yes, absolutely, those planes are really cool. I don't know if you've... in addition to my SU-25T tutorial, I have a I started a tutorial for the TF-51. So you can see kind of how that plane works. And I also have some aviation basics tutorials that feature the TF-51. Alright, we got Straya over there. We'll go ahead and take the right and get airborne. Hey, buddy.
Hey. I didn't even need me to pull over like this.
What was that?
Didn't even need me to pull over and put my wings up.
No, not at all. Hawk flight taking runway 110, immediate departure to the south. Beslin. Alright, we'll leave our nose wheel steering on until we get to about 70 knots. Then we'll turn it off, because then our rudders will have authority and we won't need to use the nose wheel steering to stay on center line. And then we'll wait till we get to about 140 knots before we rotate and depart. 140, rotate. positive rate of climb, gear up. Switch this back to the CDU. Good to go, gear up, indicating that they are up. Let's go ahead and quickly get our TGP on again, warm it back up. Turn our laser on as well, and get our master armed because we know that we are engaging targets. And we will go ahead and turn to the south, back towards our valley. But yes, Victor, the World War II planes are really, really well made. They fly very accurately, you know, what I would expect a P-51 to feel like. It does feel like that. They're a lot of fun. Yeah, exactly. All of these are that way. And then I missed that bit about not your real name. I guess Victor's not your real name, or is that somebody else talking in chat? I can't see that high. I'd have to Alt-Tab. All right. Joff, how you doing on those SAMs?
They're really tiny, and I'm having trouble picking them out among the trees.
Roger. I'm going to clear the helicopters in.
Overwatch, this is Pontiac 1-1. We are proceeding into the valley to extract the asset. Keep an eye on the surrounding areas while we're on the ground. Once the asset pops its flares, everyone for miles will know where we are. Pontiac 1-1 out.
So again, all of the voice acting was done by yours truly. It was a lot of fun to put those together and put together the various accents. I had a lot of trouble with the Russian accent, actually. You'll hear him when Rabid Bear starts talking. Rabid Bear is our asset that we are going into rescue at the moment. Awesome, man. Hey, Yellow Man, what's up, man? I guess Yellow is up, right? Victor's a good nick. I like it. I go by Cyrix. And we'll go ahead and just kind of keep an eye on the valley. And if needed, we'll go give Joff a hand with some of the AAA. Those are emplacements over there, as opposed to some of the ones over here were trucks. A little bit easier to pick out. And that's the city of Vladikavkaz. Probably butchering the name, sorry. To any Russians that watch this later, let me know how I actually pronounce that, if that's wrong. Vladikavkaz? I don't know. And then it looks like our asset should be somewhere in there. And hopefully he's got some way to signal the helicopters as to where his exact position is. Speaking of which, let's see if we can find our Pontiac flight. Looks like those two might be them. Yeah, I think those are the rescue choppers right there. All right, all flights be advised. A-10 on station over the asset, orbiting. 7,000 feet. Let them know where I am and what I'm doing. Keep an eye on our rescue choppers over there. Make sure we don't fly into that mountain right in front of us. And keeping my eyes out for any targets that might show up unannounced. Not that I have any prior knowledge of what might happen in this mission or anything, since I wrote it. Alright. Back on task. Choppers are moving in. Let's see where he might be. Probably in an area where there's trees. He's got to have some cover somewhere.
Overwatch. This is Rabbit
There we
Bear.
go. Got him.
Have visual on the rescue helicopters. Popping flares and moving to the extraction point. Rabbit Bear out.
Alright, we got one target moving out. We got our rescue choppers.
Overwatch, this is Pontiac 1-1. We have visual on green flares and are inbound. We have visual on an individual running towards the extraction point. We're guessing that's our man. We'll need to verify his identity once we land. Pontiac 1-1 out.
Alright, choppers are going in. Let's go ahead and do this kind of a thing. We will autopilot and take a look at those guys as they go in. Where are we? Alright, so we got one dude sitting over there. Got our rescue helicopters. Oh, and look. Delta Squad's over. Clearing the area.
This is Delta Squad. We have made contact with the asset. Give us closer support for 10 minutes while we verify his identity.
Alright, that's pretty cool. Back to our workstation here. And we'll just give them close air support like they asked for. Stray, you got an ETA for us? He's probably just doing some paperwork. You know how it is. Flying Navy plane, landed in airbase. You gotta do all kinds of paperwork,
Sorry, I
I'm
realized
sure.
it's muted. I'm right on your ass.
Are you? Oh, yeah, I see you back there. Pull up on the left, or yeah, pull up on the left. Hard in VR to...
Overwatch, this is Pontiac 1-1. We have incoming enemy units from the west. Request immediate fire on their position. We can't dust off yet.
Alright, I'm gonna go in on those targets.
Alright, I'm pulling off. I'm getting stuck in your wake.
Targets to the west. Alright, so west is towards Koban. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna switch to my TGP, take a look over that direction. I'll do air to ground, we'll see what's over there. Let's go ahead and get this guy reset. And we'll get him bore sighted again, standby air to ground mode. And then zoom him out. He is zoomed out. Alright, cool. So west is towards the city. So I'll do a left turn, roll in, see if I see anything. I think I have eyes on some targets moving towards them. So we'll go ahead and take a look at those. Straya, what are you loaded out with?
Zunies. So I'm going to be rocket potting. So if you go in first.
Affirm. Joff, what are you loaded out with?
Right now I'm switching target to the SAM that just spawned in.
Roger that. That's why I was asking.
I've got harms if we need extra on that.
Straya, can you do a run along their exit route, the river on the east side, up through the city? Go take a look and make sure there aren't any targets in there waiting.
Roger.
Watch out for the SAM that's between the river and the entrance canyon.
There's 2 BMPs on the road.
Roger, that's in between Koban, the east, not the west. Turn our EO on, we'll get our gun ready to go, and we know where our targets are, so I'm just going to go in and see if I can do some damage here. Joff, how many SAMs would you reckon you took out?
Earlier, 3. On it now 0, but I'm working on it.
Guns, guns, guns. I meant AAA in the city. Oh, I see a couple of AAA emplacements in there. And looks like I got one of those BMPs. I'm gonna roll back around and see if I can get that other one.
Magnum.
That's a little steep of an approach. He's heading towards, but he's going pretty slow. I should have time to turn back around and take him out. Looks like they're still verifying down there, so we'll give them some more close air support. Hey, Yellow Man, I'm actually using a Valve Index, so I'm using VR. And it is phenomenal. I would recommend an Index or a Rift S. I've heard good things about the HP Reverb G2, I think. That's supposed to be a really good headset as well, so if you're looking into this, there's also head tracking via OpenTrack and a iOS application or an Android application, and I'll have to go and take a look at that once we're done with this mission because I don't remember the name of it. But it's like $9 instead of a full HMD or Track IR. Track IR is also really good. I used that almost exclusively before I used this. All right, there we go, and we will see if we can get this guy. Guns, guns, guns. Looks like the BMPs are down. Stray, anything over the city of Vladikavkaz?
Last guy's just going down now.
Looks like Samfire, Joff.
Yep, my harm didn't work, and I'm down.
Overwatch, this is Pontiac 1-1. We have incoming enemy units from the south. Request immediate fire on their position. We can't dust off yet.
Well, I need to go deal with that, Sam.
Yes.
Alright.
Target from the south. Alright, so that's somebody in the valley. Keep an eye on this ridge here. SAM is over there, so I want to avoid that. So let's go ahead and we will bore sight this again. Get that nice and centered. Our SAM is over there somewhere. I think I've got eyes on it right there. So I want to avoid him. I'll go ahead and roll in. And, you know, I think I'm just going to make my Maverick my sensor of interest. We'll do CCIP. And we'll switch to our Maverick. And I think if I stay here, the SAM is not seeing me. Right over this ridge seems to be a good distance. And we'll check the south over here. Slow ourselves down, take a look at the road here on the south. Do we see anything? There's a target right there. Let's go. Rolling in.
Guns,
Rifle.
guns.
Good effect on target. Did you go guns on the SAM?
This is
Yeah.
Delta 1. We have verified the identity of the asset. Switching to extraction.
I don't know if it's dead though.
Alright, so they're getting to the chopper. You might have heard that Arnie cameo there. Please don't sue me, Mr. Schwarzenegger or 20th Century Fox, for using your sound clip. Alright, why am I slowing down? Probably too tight of a turn. Alright. So our Maverick, let's bore sight that guy again. And then we'll see if we can find that SAM.
Guns, guns, guns.
Got him. Rolling in on that SAM. I've got a Maverick ready for him.
I think both SAMs are disabled. They're
Rifle.
still there, disabled.
There's more than one?
Yeah, either side of the river or the valley.
Alright, I'm not getting a radar ping, so he must be disabled, but he's about to get blown up. Or not. There we go.
Joff, are you airborne?
I'm launching soon.
Alright, I'll hang around.
And you got 2 over the city? Or in the city?
I got 3 in the city.
Awesome. They're all dead?
I believe so.
Gentlemen, I believe we have done it. Now we can just escort our helicopters back home. And I think that's a good mission.
Well, he lost one F-16.
Yeah, but it was over a friendly city, so we don't have to worry about going and picking up that pilot.
Just need to pay damages to the person that's got a new skylight.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Alright, let's go see if we can find our helicopters, see where they are, and we'll just kind of fly along with them back to base. Are they still on the ground? Well, we won the mission, but I think the helicopter's bugged out.
Bugger.
Yeah, it looks like the ground units didn't get picked up, so I'll have to look at that script and see why.
Alright, well, it's landing time, isn't it?
Yes, it is. GG's. Are you going to go back to the carrier?
No, it's too far away. I'm just gonna come land with Beslin with you guys.
I was going to be like, good luck. Alright, we'll go ahead and switch off our TGP. We will get set up for landing. Landing light on. We're going to
I
head
think
to
I've got just
Bethlehem.
enough fuel to get there as well.
Nice. I've got fuel for days.
I'm gonna use the excuse I burnt it all strafing ASAM.
Alright, we'll head back to Beslin. We will land. Awesome mission. We'll go ahead and get our lights back on. And I don't need my display anymore. Get that out of my face. We're good to go. T-Flight HOTAS 4, and it keeps jinking right. Is there a simple fix for this? Because it's really annoying. Kevin Chan, check your Windows. Does it like randomly jink to the right? Almost like you're putting an input in, or is it a constant right pressure? If it's a constant right pressure, it's possible that in the Windows Device Manager you have to calibrate the joystick just to make sure it's centered. If it just periodically like puts in a full right deflection, or you know, a little bit of right deflection, it's possible that the joystick sensor is actually not, you know, faulty. It might be faulty, so you might have to just get that replace that joystick with a new one, or fix it if you know how to do that kind of work.
Hey Rex, look off your right wing.
I'm looking off my right. I don't see anybody. There you are. Welcome to the party. We got Beslin over there. And an F-18 off our wing. I'll let you go in first because I'm a little slower. Yeah, but if you check the Windows Device Manager, you might have a calibration issue. Another thing is, if it's not a huge amount of right pressure, and it looks like it's centered in the calibration manager in Windows, it's possible to add just a little bit of dead zone to it, and that might mute the right tendency of the joystick. Alright, we'll go ahead and start slowing ourselves down. We'll just go idle on our power and start our descent. We'll trim here for about a 5-degree angle here. And we'll see our speed over there, 204, 203, 202. 190 is our flap deploy speed, and we're actually quite high here. So what I will do is deploy the speed brakes, which will slow us down and increase our descent rate. If you don't have speed brakes in whatever plane you're flying, you can do what's called a slip, where you basically, let's see, is delete still or backspace still the... Hey, Core Gaming. The way that I did it was I made my own missions. I learned how to use the mission editor, and I put together some really simple strike missions. And once I got better at those and better at those, I started making more complicated ones like this. Now, you can totally do that. You can also go and join the Hoggit group on Reddit. It's just reddit.com/r/Hoggit. They have a thing called, I think, Tuesday Night Noob, and they will help you kind of train. They have a training map that's very good. I have a customized version of it that I run on my server, and they'll help you get up to speed on those things. And then you can join the Persian Gulf at War server, which is another Hoggit run, or it's run by members of the Hoggit community. I don't know if Hoggit actually runs it, but and in there you can start doing more advanced tasking. There's also another, so this mission here, asset extraction, is really nice because depending on which plane you fly, different enemies spawn in, so the difficulty scales up. Hog flight, short final, runway 10, Beslin.
I'm clear runway.
So you can change the difficulty of the mission essentially by spawning in more or less planes, which is kind of cool. And this mission is called Asset Extraction. The version that's up on the... So I'm the creator of this mission. We're testing it tonight. There we go. The version that's up on the Eagle Dynamics files website is an older version and might not work properly in this updated map. So there's another one called what's it called? Krasnodar. I think it's called Krasnodar something. It basically lets you choose the tasking. So you can hit the F10 menu, the radio menu. Bring up the radio menu. There's an F10 option in here. So under ground crew, you'll see F10, and you can spawn what kind of mission you want to do, whether it's air to ground or air to air or whatever you're flying. Yeah, don't be stupid on Hoggit. They will ban you. You can always appeal that if you go to their website and ask and say you're sorry. I'll go ahead and put down that. I'm using the HMD. I'm using the Valve Index. I love this headset. I got it because my Rift. I had a Rift, version 1, Gen 1 Rift, and it was good, but it was hard to read all the displays. In the Index, I do not have a problem reading anything. I mean, sometimes I have to lean in just a bit, but I can read everything here without leaning in. Looks like Straya parked. We'll go ahead and park right next to him. And we'll go see what Joff's doing. There we go. Canopy's open. I would be waving if I had hands in the game, but I don't. Let's go ahead and get ourselves shut down. We'll turn off our countermeasure systems, CDU, and all of the other stuff here. Everything there is good. We will cycle down our right engine first. Turn off our stability control. Turn off our MFDs. Engine is spooling down, almost done. We'll turn our left engine down as well. Turn our inverter off because we don't need it anymore. I think we're good. Caution panel is correct for turning it off. Go ahead and kick off our battery. Good to go. Got Joff inbound on his targets.
The only thing the game doesn't simulate is getting a cold beer after a successful mission. Gotta do that.
Absolutely. All right, everybody. Thank you for joining us on the stream. We had a successful mission. A quest is not going to work. So let me. There's actually a free tracking solution. It's very similar to TrackIR. Let me find what it is on my phone. It is. Let me see. Where is it? Smooth Track is what it's called on iOS. I think there is an Android version as well, and it uses the OpenTrack software on your computer. It basically mimics TrackIR with your phone camera, and it does not need TrackIR software. It just looks at your face and can tell which way you're looking. It's very accurate and really cool. So if you're looking for a cheap, I think it's $9. So if you're looking for a cheap head tracking solution, I highly recommend Smooth Track. Let me turn this off and we'll do... Oh, it's not working. Let's do this so I can actually talk to y'all. There we go. So I recommend Smooth Track. It is really cool. Very, very accurate, a lot of fun. And it works just as good, if not better, than TrackIR because lighting doesn't affect it as much as TrackIR. With TrackIR, if you have like a backlit room, I mean, you have to be able to see your face, but with TrackIR, any kind of infrared light, including the sun, will totally screw it up, and that includes reflections. Smooth Track, I haven't had any issues with that yet, so highly recommend Smooth Track if you haven't played with it already. I am in VR for DCS Geldy. I'm going to catch up on some of this chat here. Yeah, Kevin Chan, let me know about that joystick. Again, check your Windows controls and see if there's a calibration issue. When you open up your joystick or your game controllers, you'll be able to see your joystick. You can look at the configuration, and when you look at the configuration, everything should be centered in the little squares that show you where everything is. And if it's not, it just means you have to calibrate the joystick. It'll just tell you to leave it centered. You can do all of that. That might fix your problem. If not, if the joystick is centered and it's still, like showing that it's to the right, it might just be the sensor is borked, and you might need to get a new joystick or repair it. Let me switch to my other mic. There we go. Can you hear me now? Forgot to turn that one on. So yeah, absolutely. Go ahead and check your... So Smooth Track was the application that I was talking about if you didn't hear me before. It's very good, very, very accurate. Highly recommend picking that bad boy up.
You get a little bit of echo.
Gotcha. Can you hear me now? Single. Awesome. Smooth Track is great. Track IR is great. I'm using an Index. The Index is amazing, and highly recommend that if you're into VR. The HP Reverb G2 is supposed to be a very, very good VR headset or AR headset. I haven't used it, but I've seen some comparisons, and it looks like it's a little bit more, has a little bit better resolution than the Index. That does mean that it's going to be a little bit more computer intensive to run it. So just keep that in mind. The higher resolution you go on VR, the more beefy of a system you'll need to actually run it smoothly. Tonight I was playing with just the VR preset in DCS. I didn't turn anything up above that, and everything ran fairly smoothly. I wasn't able to monitor the stream, so hopefully that was all smooth as well. But I'll go back and watch the recording and see how that went. Anyway, everybody, like I said, I'm going to start doing Tutorial Tuesdays, and it'll just be going through each of the planes and putting together a tutorial series for them, starting again with the Su-25T, which was my original series. I'll update that for the new version of it, see if I can condense those lessons down a little bit, and insert a little bit more accurate information, because when I made those, I did not have a pilot certificate, and now I do, so now I know some of the things that I said were not correct. So I'll try and get that updated and correct, and then move on to things like the P-51, A-10C, possibly the A4. I'll go take a look at that. I'll download it. I'll see how it plays, and put together a tutorial for that, and we'll start moving through that. Friday Night Flights is a series that I'm going to continue to do. Not always asset extraction. Tonight was just a test. Next week we might jump on the Persian Gulf at War server and see if there's anything that we can do to help over there. And yeah, all of those with the cook-alongs. The cook-alongs started in the pandemic. I did them to essentially kind of virtually hang out with family and friends. A lot of them really enjoy the food that I make, and so that was just kind of a way to help them, help keep them entertained, and hopefully inspire them to cook some new stuff. So please bear with me on those if you're not interested in cooking at all. I put it together for a good reason. I don't plan on becoming the next Babish or anything like that. I just have fun doing them, and it's a way to kind of keep in touch with family and friends. So watch them if you want. They're a lot of fun. If you do like cooking, it's a great way to learn how to do some stuff if you don't feel like you're an expert or you're not super confident with cooking. I try and make it as simple as possible. That's the end of the stream. If you enjoyed it, by all means, give me a like. Subscribe to me here on YouTube if you're on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook. Go and find Robert Sogomonian Streams. That's the name of my page that I'm running, where I put all of these live streams if you want to follow me there. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter if you want to go to Twitter, and TikTok. I'm on there too. TikTok right now is all food, so if you're not interested in food, don't follow me on TikTok. But the aviation stuff is on Instagram, and that is real world aviation as well. So I do real world flight vlogs over there. So anyway, everybody, have a great night. Thanks for joining along, and I will catch you on the next one next Friday Night Flights.